All right, welcome back, everyone. I'm glad the break wasn't too long there, but we've got game two between Not Today and Infamous to cover here. Once again, I'm Niz, and welcome to the cast. As game one, we saw Infamous just dominate Not Today. What a one-sided
10
affair!
seconds
Infamous
remaining.
played some incredible Dota, and wow, if they're
5
able to continue
seconds
that.
remaining.
Not only are they probably going to beat Not Today in this game, but they look pretty good for the rest of the
Radiant
tournament if
team
they keep
pick.
playing like that. That was some impressive Dota. I think part of it kind of came down to the draft and the fact that they were able to get that Death Prophet, but the Death Prophet and the Bounty Hunter. The Bounty Hunter did so much work and that created so much space for the Death Prophet. And
Dire
then
team
mid-game where Death Prophet shines, we just saw that Death Prophet just run train on everyone. Ryu had did an incredible job on that, but he had such a great supporting cast behind him. That Bounty Hunter, like I said, Z-Talk created so much space. We had the Slardar from X. He got his Blink Dagger up. It wasn't maybe the fastest timing in the world, but it's the timing. It was the right timing that they needed.
10 seconds
And
remaining.
he was just always there. He was even there before. He died early on. Immediately he went
seconds
mid,
remaining.
sprinted down, got them a kill as Z-Talk rotated on in as well as they dropped G for a second
Reserve
time. On top of that, we had Greedy get his Blink Dagger up very quickly, dominating a lane that we expected him to dominate going up against Beastmaster. But that Batrider just, once again, had some good pickoffs, and it really just allowed Infamous to win the lanes, but then control that mid game and just completely shut down Not Today anywhere that they tried. There was a little bit of space found for the Lone Druid to get the Radiance, but it proved to not be enough. And Infamous took game one. And we've got a best of three here, so Not Today have got another chance here to win this game and not get knocked out of the tournament. But we're seeing a lot of the early bans change up here as the Lone Druid and Undying got banned out by Not Today. The Queen of Pain and the Wisp were the bans for Infamous. As actually the Invoker and the Wisp were the bans for Not Today last game. So huge difference.
Dire
as
team ban.
we actually see the Invoker and the Ancient Apparition getting picked up by Not Today. And I mentioned a little bit about that they were focusing on a lot of push-oriented play in their recent games. And one of the heroes that they were actually mixing in with that was Ancient Apparition. It was played 2 out of
seconds
the
remaining.
5 games that they played since the last time we saw them on Dota 2 in the
5
Dota 2
seconds
Canada Cup.
remaining.
So interesting that they're picking up here. It doesn't look like they're really going towards that real
Reserve
push-oriented style. But they will have that Invoker and the Ancient
Radiant
Apparition.
team
A
ban.
pretty scary duo when you consider the global potential. You've got Sunstrike as well as Ice Blast. You can have an impact anywhere on the map at any time. As for Infamous, they picked up the Dazzle, they picked up the Nature's Prophet, and they're looking pretty damn strong with those first 2 picks. Well, let's get into talking about the rest, as we've got the Death Prophet
5
and the Razor
seconds
picked up
remaining.
banned out by Not Today. As the Death Prophet, we saw how well Infamous can handle
Reserve
that hero,
time.
but it gets banned out. Darkseer and Gyro were the bans for Infamous. As Gyro, another one of those heroes that Not Today was running a lot. And they were seemingly pairing it up with Ancient Apparition quite a bit, I believe. So that'll get removed. Then Not Today picked up the Earth Spirit and the Batrider. So once again, more ganking potential. Earth Spirit really helps you win your lanes early on. And then Batrider as well. He's able to get a Blink Dagger up fairly quickly in almost every single game. It's very hard to shut down a Batrider. So once again, he's got more gank potential. And the thing that's great about the Batrider is once he gets his Blink Dagger, he can blink in, lasso, pull someone back, but then he can just leave them in place for the Sunstrike to come in. So there's great synergy there, as well as the Ice Blast flying in. Basically, you just throw the Ice Blast, and as long as it's close, Batrider blinks in, lasso, pulls them to the Ice Blast. And that's pretty much guaranteed going to land as well. So very easy ganks, as long as the Batrider is able to get his Blink Dagger up. Which, like I said, it's difficult to shut that down. So on paper, Not Today looking pretty good so far with that synergy. Infamous with their next 2, they picked up the Ember Spirit and the Puck. Puck was actually the 5th ban that we saw from Not Today last game, or Infamous last game. Excuse me. Final 2 bans are in though. It's the Vengeful Spirit, there we go, and the Tiny.
10 seconds
As
remaining.
Slark rounds out not today's lineup. And what I like
5
about this is
seconds
is
remaining.
another hero that's great at ganking. It's another hero that's great at controlling the map. It's also a hero
Reserve
that's
time.
likes to pick up Shadow Blade, which means that you're able to open up on the Nature's Prophet a lot easier as well with the Slark. So it prevents the Nature's Prophet rat. It's also difficult for Infamous to really gank. And they've got very limited lockdown with the Nature's Prophet and the Dazzle. There's very limited lockdown there. Puck has to pretty much devote his Dream Coil to locking down the Slark, which isn't exactly what you want. And then on top of that, he's got the Silence, which is good against Slark,
10
but
seconds remaining.
it's not the best at the same time.
5 seconds
And although
remaining.
Slark, I don't really think he's that great against the Ember Spirit. It's still another hero that can go and prevent Ember Spirit from jumping away. But Lion's going to be the final pick for Infamous. It looks like they're going to have the Nature's Prophet in the off lane, Puck in the mid lane, Ember Spirit safe lane, and the support duo of the Dazzle and the Lion. Not today. Their lineup looks like it's going to be Batrider off lane, Invoker mid, Slark in the safe lane, Ancient Apparition babies sitting him, and Earth Spirit probably moving around between top and mid lane. But you never know. We could see one of these teams go aggro and create a different setup with the lanes. As I'm not really sure if that would really work out for either team. You'd get Nature's Prophet versus the Batrider in the off lane, so I'm not really too sure if that's an advantage either way. And
10 seconds remaining.
I don't know. If Infamous goes aggressive,
5
it does create that
seconds remaining.
situation where we do have the Nature's Prophet versus Batrider, but it also creates the same situation that we had last game, where it ties up the Earth Spirit, which last game was the Night Stalker, ties that hero up, kind of leads him into the top lane, so that he's not able to roam and put pressure on mid as much. And we saw just how effective that was at allowing the Bounty Hunter to move around the map freely. Infamous doesn't really have a hero like that that's going to be able to move around as much. Not today really have that hero. So if they can create a situation where the Earth Spirit's able to move around and do whatever he wants, then that'll be really beneficial for them. But I just don't see how it's going to be possible. You can't really send your Slark and your Ancient Apparition duo off lane. That's not really going to work. AA is going to be very, very weak in that setup. Slark will be perfectly fine, but I'm not sure if it's really worth sacrificing the farm on Slark. But we'll see. We'll see how they choose to run this. I expect it just to be the standard safe lane for both carries, and we won't really see anything too aggressive coming up from either team, which I know is surprising for South American teams. But yeah, I don't think we're going to see an aggressive lane yet. We'll probably see a lot of kills, but that might have to wait a little bit. Just waiting for the mouse config from someone on Infamous. You are asking in chat, what are the chances the winner of this tournament actually has a Canadian player? I don't know anymore. I don't know. I have to actually go over the rosters and see and think about it a little bit more. There are a lot of very successful Canadian players. I actually think if you were to take the best 5 Canadian players for each role and put them on a team, and you did the same with the US, I think we would actually have a much better team in Canada, and probably better than a lot of other countries, with the exception of maybe Ukraine would have a really strong team. Yeah, that might be it. Canada might actually be the top 2. So there are some very, very talented Canadian players out there. But as for how many are actually in this on each roster, I'd have to really go through and look at all the rosters. But yeah, Digital Chaos is still in. They've got Owie. They had TC, although I don't think they've got him anymore. I don't know if it's official yet, but I don't think he's really playing with them anymore. But we'll get into talking about that in a second. Let's introduce our teams and our players. So we've got Z-Talk playing the Dazzle for Infamous on the Radiant side. Greedy's going to be playing the Ember Spirit. X is going to be on the Nature's Prophet. Excel is on the Lion. And Ryu is going to be on the Puck. As for our Dire side, it's Team Not Today. We've got Goody playing the Bat Rider. Glacius is going to be on the Ancient Apparition. DDX is going to be on the Invoker. Jerry on the Earth Spirit. And G is going to be playing the Slark. Yeah, Sweden. Sweden definitely would have a very, very strong team. I actually had a conversation with a friend maybe about a month or two ago regarding this, and we actually considered some dream teams, and Sweden was very, very strong. But Sweden, Ukraine, and Canada are crazy good. Obviously, the US has some really strong talents as well. Russia looks good. China looks great. But when it comes down to, I think China's got the most depth. That's what we got first blood here in the top lanes. G is going to be able to pounce away, but the auto attack will find him. As X getting first blood there, as he's going to go down, but definitely a worthwhile trade. Z-Talk's going to get a return kill here. Some nice micro there from X, blocking off the retreat from that Earth Spirit with the Trents. Yeah, definitely Canada's got some very, very talented players. Like I said, China probably's got the better depth in terms of players, but when you actually look at probably the best player in each role, I think some other countries kind of went out there. As Z-Talk with the heal bomb from the Dazzle gets the kill on the Ancient Apparition. Now G goes down to about 200 HP. He'll have to salve himself back up. Mid lane's going to be the Puck against the Invoker. As I don't know if we'll really see too much action coming out of that one. Bottom lane's going to be the Ember Spirit and the Lion going up against the Bat Rider. Once again, probably not too much action. Goody has to kind of really make a mistake there to really get caught out. But he'll be trying to play that as greedily as possible. The top lane looks like it's going to be our big one in terms of action. Yeah, it's crazy to think that you've got PPD and Universe for the US are two incredible players in their roles. But you look at Canada, you've got Moon in the off lane. I mean, he's pretty much right up there in terms of skill level in the off lane. Probably one of the best off laners in the world right now. I think Universe is probably still #1, but you've got both of them up there. As Goody actually does get caught in the bottom lane. And PPD obviously fantastic at his role, and that's probably the position 5 is probably the weakest for Canada. But you've got, you know, Aoi, probably one of the best position 4s in the world. Then you've got Arteezy and Eternal Envy. You put Arteezy in the mid lane, Eternal Envy safe lane. That's a pretty damn strong roster. And like I said, fifth position, probably the weakest. But you still have like 1-4-3-7 or something like that you can put there. It's very, very strong. Maybe way too sexy. There's a lot of potential there. And that's kind of looking over Jo. Like you're keeping Jo off the roster just because there's so much talent in kind of the core positions. I'll try to focus more on the game here, but like I said, it's going to be a little bit quiet early on, so it's all right to talk about some of that other stuff. Is Glacius? Oh, he could be in trouble here. This Observer Ward scouting him out there, but they weren't able to open up on the Ancient Apparition there. Ryu actually going to jaunt away there, but he's going to do it right into Jerry. Now Ryu is in trouble as this Puck looks like he is not going to fare too well. The orb's back up. Will they be able to cover it? That's the problem. You do try to go and cover it, and then you have to turn around. As here comes the TP in from X, as DDX is going to be the one who's in trouble, and he's going to go down. What a great series of events there for Infamous. As Ryu looked like he was in trouble, but it's so hard to cover that Puck as Z-Talk is going to go down here. He did actually have Shallow Grave up. Not sure if he had the mana for it. I saw him get the heal off, but he does go down there. Cells rotated in behind Goodies. Looks like the Batrider's in trouble once again. He's going to get caught by the stun. Locked down in place by the Ember Spirit. And that's another kill going the way of Infamous. 6-2 now as they once again take control of this game early on. Let's take a look at the last hits. They are leading in all 3 lanes. Get the puck. 31-6 versus 12-2 on the Invoker. That is not something that you typically see. You typically see the Invoker do much better against a puck. But just not working out here for DDX. For the top lane, this Slark. You know, I talked about kind of going that duo off lane and the fact that you don't really want to have to sacrifice farm on your Slark. But it's actually gone the other way as Infamous are able to punish and make sure that Slark isn't able to get the CS that he wants, even with Not Today keeping him in the safe lane, as X is in an interesting position here. I think they might be able to get the kill onto G here. We're going to have the Shallow Grave come out rather early. But G's able to leap away, and it's going to be Glacius who's going to go down instead. As the Ancient Apparition, one more attack. There's 2 in the air, so they get the kill there. As Jerry starts to back away, but just for a second, because DDX is rotating on in as Jerry comes rolling on forward. As X once again is in trouble. This time, Shallow Grave on cooldown, so they won't have that to keep the Nature's Prophet alive. As DDX, Tornado, EMP, X going to sprout himself, which buys just enough time for the Dazzle and the Creeps to bring down that Invoker, and it's actually X who is still alive for that kill, so the Invoker misses out on the XP there, but here comes Ryu. He rotates up to the top lane, and will they find Jerry? They will. The orb was on point.
That was toasty.
Dire's bottom tower is under
As
attack.
Infamous, you know, they still have the 2 heroes in the bottom lane, farming and pushing, and they're still able to do so much in the top lane. It's felt like almost everyone from Infamous was up there, but it really wasn't. It was just the 2 of them, and then on top of that, the puck rotates them as well, but Not Today. They keep cycling heroes up there, and it's just not working for them. Really, the Batrider's the only one who hasn't really been a part of all that, but he's sitting at 0-3 right now. And, you know, I said it's very difficult to shut down a Batrider, and typically what happens is when he has a really hard off lane like this, you've got your safe lane, one of the supports to be able to stack the jungle and give him a camp to fall back to and get some farm up. But we haven't seen them, Not Today, really being able to stack anything at all, as they've just been losing their safe lane so hard against this duo lane of the Dazzle, Nature's Prophet. It's just so strong.
Dire's top
And
tower
they
is
can't
under
really
attack.
sacrifice a hero to move it into the jungle and start creating some stacks for the Batrider. But they will have to maybe sacrifice their lanes a little bit and do things like put the Earth Spirit in the bottom lane and try and maybe bait the Batrider and then go for a reaction play with the Earth Spirit comes rolling on in, and then maybe you TP another hero in. They're struggling all over the place here.
Tower is under attack.
They need level 6 up on their Slark. And that's the other thing. Like, you've got so many heroes here on Not Today. As I'll bring up the scoreboard. Level 5, 6, 4, 5, 5. You got so many heroes that are under-leveled and behind on Not Today. And that just really makes the Nature's Prophet, Wrath of Nature, so much stronger. We used to see this a long time ago where there were a lot of aggressive tri-lanes and teams were really picking Nature's Prophet because in a 1v1 matchup, he fares fine against pretty much all the other heroes. So he's not really going to lose his lane hard because he's so strong as a 1v1 hero. But then you've got all these heroes under-leveled because of a tri-lane versus tri-lane situation. And that just makes the Wrath of Nature so much stronger. So here we go. As Glacius and Goody just gets demolished, but they might... No, they're not going to be able to. Greedy is going to be able to safely jump away. But DDX is going to try to chase him down. Cold Snap, one attack, another attack. After the stick was used, they need one more, and they're not going to find it. As Greedy's going to be able to TP away, and he'll jump right back down to the bottom lane with a Remnant, and he'll be able to join up with his team. As X and Z-Talk have rotated down here. So they're going to look for another kills. Puck off to the right-hand side. Has found Jerry. Locked him down with the Dream Coils. They'll find a kill there. Now Infamous will drop this tier 1 tower, and I imagine they'll keep pushing here. They're pretty healthy on all their heroes. The only one really missing anything is the mana on the Lion, but he can just suck off a creep and get it right back. And yeah, they're going to start knocking on the door of this tier 2. And there's really no way that Not Today can come back and defend this tower right now. They just need to sacrifice it and go farm elsewhere. They've got their Ancient Apparition, which they're just saying, go, sit in the mid lane, get the solo XP. No one go and take his XP. We need Ice Blast. It's so important to for us to have stronger team fight right now. And Ice Blast is really going to help with that. So they're devoting their Ancient Apparition there, despite the fact that he's not a core. As Goody's going to go down. As Ice Blast will fly in, but it's just going to land on Rio, and I'm not sure if that's going to be enough. It actually flew over X, so they had the application of the Ice Blast effect on the Nature's Prophet, which helped him get the kill. But this is just a disaster. Infamous just keeps running all over them. As Jerry is probably, no, he's not going to go down. Stick keeps him alive for a little bit longer, but he will go down in the end as Greedy comes jumping on in, as he jumps to one of his spirits there. His remnants. Yeah, G just got a Midas, so he's got a comeback Midas, but I'm not really sure if there's going to be enough time for that to come back. He will get a kill there on Greedy. That'll give him a nice chunk of gold. 1,000 gold for getting that kill there. Is Ice Blast going to fly in? Just barely going to miss.
Some things you can't.
Onto X there. Is G probably going to help that out by walking down a little bit and juking around this tree, which would have pulled the Nature's Prophet down a little bit, but I'm not sure if it really would have helped him in the end. As DDX, oh, so close to getting a kill on X there, but it just doesn't work out for them once again, as we may actually be seeing the end of this series so quickly. As Not Today, they're just in a whole lot of trouble here.
Middle tower is under attack.
As you just saw the end of the finger there finishing off the Bat Rider. As I was trying to look up in the top lane, but we missed the kill there on the Earth Spirit, and now it's 21-5. I don't see how you come back here. Let's take a look at the net worth. Look at that. 5 of the top 6 are all on Infamous. Take a look at the gold graph. We're already over 14k. It's over 1,000 gold lead a minute, as we're just 12 minutes into this game. 26 kills in 12 minutes, my goodness. Take a look at XP. It's not quite at 1,000 a minute, but it's approaching the 10k mark. So it's getting close there. But this has just been all Infamous, and we saw them dominate game 1, and this is also looking like a very dominating performance. Z-Talk is going to go down here. He won't be able to get the Shallow Grave off, and that's actually going to keep him alive, because the Ice Blast wore off before the Shallow Grave did. So they were so close to getting a kill on the Dazzle there, but even missing out there is just nothing's working out for Not Today. As they look like they're more than just against the ropes. They're knocked out, and they're just kind of hanging on to the ropes right now.
I'll take that.
They're not going to tap out yet. They're going to try and make it difficult for Infamous to take the high ground here. For Infamous, they're going to wait. They're not going to push high ground just yet. They're going to get as much gold and as much of a lead as they can before really taking that step up onto the high ground. So they're going to claim this mid-tier 2 tower. As Ryu's going to get caught out here. Is not really sure what he was doing sitting there, but he's dead.
Is under attack.
Why was he sitting there? I don't know, but then they'll count award the ward that was up on the high ground. A little bit of a weird play there by Ryu. I saw him on the minimap. He was just sitting there the whole time.
Dire's middle tower is under attack. Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Well, with their puck dead, Infamous will back away. This has created a little bit of space for G. He's picked up an Aquila, and he's up to another 1,000 gold. That kill on the Ember Spirit really helped him out a lot. I'm not sure if a little bit of farm on your Slark is going to be enough. As Excel, so close. He didn't have finger up off cooldown though. We'll quickly cycle through our heroes here. As Nature's Prophet, he's almost got the Maelstrom, Drums, Treads, Excel, Blink Dagger, Arcanes. Ryu, Blink Dagger, Dagon, level 1 still.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Once again, just getting a mech early on in this game. He's got Arcanes as well. As we see the Ember Spirit jump away there. His Ice Blast going to fly and it's going to land onto 1 as the puck almost phase shifts it. Yeah, Greedy's almost got his Battle Fury completed. which is going to make it even more
Dire's
difficult.
middle tower is under attack. Dire's middle tower has fallen.
Let's look at the team that needs something to come back here. We almost have Blink Dagger up onto Goody here, as he just needs about another 30 gold, and he'll have that. DDX. Wow, that's desperation. Phase boots into double bracer. That just tells you how this game's going. He's at 1200 gold right now. As Glacius loses a bunch of HP from that Dagon. As he'll throw out an Ice Blast, it'll just land on the Greedy. As Excel jumps up onto the top lane. After that Dagon, he throws out his finger, and that's a dead Ancient Apparition. Hero's got barely any life at this point in the game. As Goody's picked up his Blink Dagger, will he be able to find a target? Maybe it's going to be Greedy. Will he get the lasso off? He will, as he starts to bring him back. As the Sprout's not really going to prevent Greedy from getting pulled away, but he's able to jump away anyways. As Ryu is getting slowed down there by the Cold Snap, and Infamous will be in trouble, as they are not able to break that high ground. It's not today, finding a way to hold on there. It's still a very, very big ask to see if they're going to be able to hold here and keep holding like that every single time Infamous tries to take the high ground. Because you have to keep in mind, Infamous have complete control of this map, so Roche is always a possibility. The thing is that now that you've got Blink Dagger up on the Bat Rider, it makes it a little bit more risky. He can Firefly in. He can blink in and Firefly and run out with a hero with lasso, dropping them on the high ground. He doesn't even really have to make it all the way out of the pit. He can drop them up here, even on this side, and that can take a hero out of the fight. The thing is that who do you really take out of the fight by bringing them up on the high ground? Lion, he's still going to be able to contribute from the high ground. Dazzle's still going to be able to contribute. On top of that, Lion even has an Aether Lens.
Dazzle.
Nature's Prophet can just teleport if needed, if he absolutely needs to move. Puck can obviously orb, and Ember Spirit can just toss a Remnant. So you can't even really isolate anyone by putting them up on the high ground. It's just really, really difficult. Ice Blast's gonna fly in here. Gonna hit just Ryu. That was actually a really good reaction. I'm not sure if they saw the AA throw it. They do have vision from the Sentry Ward to see it coming in. It's a fact that I think a lot of people don't know. The Ice Blast from Ancient Apparition, when it's flying out, you know how you've got an Ancient Apparition on your team, you can see the initial blast flying out. The enemy team doesn't see that. They only see the big one come flying in. That is the one that actually hits. If you have detection, you can actually see that first one flying out. So you'll see teams pick up a gem. A gem is a very important pickup going up against teams that have an Ancient Apparition if you're trying to push, because you can then move around the Ice Blast. You can also use Sentry Thwart, and I think Sentries are probably the wiser option here for Infamous, because you really don't want a gem changing hands at this point, especially when there's a Bat Rider on their team, on the other team. And you've already got such a huge gold lead, although it's kind of stalled out a little bit, but you're still ahead 12, 13k. You can afford to throw a little bit more of your items, a little bit more of your gold towards Sentry Wards without having to really risk a gem in that scenario. We're gonna have to keep tabs on Goody here, because he's the one who's probably gonna have to lead and get a good lasso here. It's hard because going up against Infamous, I almost feel like you don't really want to lead with the lasso. You need to be able to counter engage with it, because if you try to lead with the lasso, you're not going to be able to find an opening. And G has found an opening, as he found Excel by himself, but not able to bring him down. He needed one more attack. He brought him down at 23 HP, but then came the Shallow Grave. The Slark is now dead. Ice Blast will find its target, but in the end, it's a Lion for your Slark. And Slark, no buyback. No, not today. Are they going to be able to hold here? As Infamous, they start beating up on the tier 3 in the mid lane. Jerry going to kick some rocks at him. It's a boomerang rock, apparently, as it comes right back to him. As Ryu jumps on in, DDX, and him change a little bit of damage there.
Dire's middle barracks are under
Tier
attack.
3 is down. They're going to go for the range racks first. They're going to find it. Now they go to the melee.
Is under attack.
Ice Blast flies in again. It's going to pass over Greedy. It's going to land on X. It even lands on Z-Talk as well. As Goody not even going to be able to get a lasso off, as he's going to go down. No buyback available for him. But here comes the Slark. He's just respawned. As Jerry's going to go down, will G be able to help out here? As he's going to try to open up onto X here, and this should be an easy kill on the Nature's Prophet. Will they be able to find more? As there's a lot of heroes here on low HP from Infamous. As Infamous once again will back away. As not today. They continue to hold here. But their base is starting to fall apart. It's starting to fall apart. Z-Talk actually picked up the gem. I'm still not sure about that. I'm still not sure about the gem pickup. Yeah, it's great against the Slark. But I feel like right now should probably be devoting a little bit more towards sentries and just playing a little bit safer, because the last couple fights have not worked out for Infamous. They really haven't. They do have the Aegis still going forward for the next fight, and that should help them win a team fight, but it just hasn't happened recently. As look, X is now going to get picked off as they went for a kill in the top lane. They don't find it on DDX, and now Ryu's going to go in by himself. He's going to get the Dagon off to kill off the Invoker, but now the Puck's going to go down.
And now a bright one.
And that's an Aegis for the Invoker. I'm not really sure if I like that trade. It'll certainly change if they're able to force a buyback here, but they just lost their line in the bottom lane as G once again finds a solo kill. As you know what, I was praising Infamous in their play in Game 1 and early on in Game 2 here, but they are really struggling to close this game. As Goody, oh, he's going to blink forward. He wanted the lasso, wasn't able to find it. As he goes down, but yeah, Infamous really struggling to close this game out, and that's a little rough with as much of a lead as they had. Oh, here we go. G's going to go for it. He's going to actually pounce, but he's going to be turned to the side. He's not actually going to latch on anyone. Tornado going to fly in, not going to find anyone. EMP will actually hit X. Meanwhile, in the top lane, Greedy has found a kill on the Ancient Apparition. As the Dagon keeps getting leveled up by the Puck. What is he at now? Dagon 4. Rock's actually going to stun up Ryu, and he's going to go down. No shallow grave coming out from Z-Talk there. As Goody TP's on in, he does still have lasso. As he's going to blink the cast from Z-Talk, pull him back. As that's going to be a dead Dazzle, or is it? He manages to keep himself alive. The mech and the heal going to be enough. Oh, he gets the shallow grave off. Jerry now is going to go down as Greedy comes in to help out. As there's a gem on the ground, X will actually pop a dust so that he can pick it up. As the Bat Rider goes down, Ice Blast going to fly in, but it's not going to find anyone. But once again, Infamous not able to close this game out. As that show fight recap doesn't really tell the whole story. As it doesn't include the Puck's death. But again, Infamous, they got the mid-racks. But this should be a very straightforward game to win with the amount of lead that they had. But it's just kind of stopped. It's absolutely stopped. And I was glad to see them maybe take their time and go for that mid-tier 2 before really trying to go uphill. Get as much of a lead as you can before you try to break high ground. But then they've just played some really sloppy Dota, and now they're going to lose X again here, or will they? G might not be able to get the kill. Sunstrike, yeah, not going to be enough. Now G needs to run away here, and he will be able to pounce. Greedy's going to try to jump after him, blinks forward. Ryu's here as well. They will find the Slark, and they'll get a kill there, and that might be the opening that Infamous needs. As now they should be able to push the bottom lane, assuming one of them doesn't get picked off, like we've seen so many times this game. They will be able to force out the buyback from the Slark. And there it is. Will they stay though, now that G is bought back? I think they back with the Nature's Prophet still dead. Yeah, they will. So that was actually really big for Not Today, or for Infamous. The fact that they were able to force that buyback. So next fight, it's only one life on the Slark. And if they're able to kill him early, which they certainly can, if they can lock him down and blow him up with, you know, you've got Dagon 5, you've got Finger, that's a dead Slark. He doesn't really have a way to avoid that damage yet. He doesn't have a BKB, although he's working on it. He's got his Ogre Club. But it's still going to be a ways out before they finish that. And oh no, Jerry's been caught here. Dagon 5 just zaps him down. As Lasso's going to find Z-Talk, but it's not, they're not going to be able to bring him down in time. He gets the Shallow Grave off, which means he can pop the mech, which means he can pop the heal, and instead we lose Goody. We lost EDX. G now trying to do it all by himself because he's the only one left on his team. He will find one kill on Ryu, as we're going to get a buyback from Glacius, as he's the only one with buyback on Not Today. G gonna leap. Will he be able to get back? He won't. This is gonna be it, as G just straight up rage disconnects from the game, and GG gets called by Not Today. Wow. So Infamous take this best of 3, as we see a little bit of saltiness there from Not Today. Why hasn't this game ended? GG's been called a few times. There we go.
Victory.
But man, Infamous played some damn good Dota, or at least damn good early Dota. I'm not too happy about what I saw there with their ability to close out the game. There was some serious throws, some serious 3-2-2. But they do manage to close out that game, and Not Today get eliminated from the Dota 2 Canada Cup. We've got Infamous advancing to the next round, where they will play, we don't know yet. There's still a few more games that need to be played out before we know that. Our next cast is tentatively scheduled for the 28th, which would be between Digital Chaos and Leviathan. That's a best of 1 at 7:45, and that's losers bracket round 1. So then the winner of that will of course advance to the next round, where they will play against Shazam, which is actually later on the 28th at 11 o'clock. 11 o'clock? 9 o'clock. 9 o'clock, there we go. 9 o'clock Eastern, that makes a little bit more sense. So 7:45 Digital Chaos versus Leviathan, 9 o'clock for Shazam versus the winner of that Digital Chaos versus Leviathan series. And that will be a best of 3 because it's loser bracket round 3. The eventual winner of that goes on to play Infamous, which that's tentatively scheduled for the 29th, but we'll see. There's been a lot of changes happening with the schedule, so we'll have to adapt and see what happens. But if the game's live on the 28th, I'll be here at 7:45, and definitely check in at dota2.ca/schedule to see if there's any changes there. But right now it's just set as a tentative time. I see on Moonduck's channel they've got it set on their overlay that's going to be the time. So that might change, but for the time being, that's going to be the next cast. So we'll see you on the 28th at 7:45. Once again, guys, I was Niz. Thanks so much for stopping by and enjoying the games with me. We'll be doing it again on the 28th. So definitely come by and check out those games, as we're going to have more of the Dota 2 Canada Cup to cover, as we're casting every single game from the very start all the way to the end, and we've been going strong. So stop by for that, and we'll see you on the 28th. Have a good night, guys.